Hello there, adventurers, and welcome to Wally DM. Today our adventuring party is seeking travel to another plane of existence. In order to get there, they need to put a few pieces into place, and they've tracked the items that they need to a certain temple. Once they enter this temple, they enter an altar room that has a statue of a stone monkey that is looking slightly above a silver offering plate. Now today's puzzle idea comes to us from the Seer's Sanctum by directsun. This is a one-shot puzzle adventure, and if you're interested, I will put a link in the description below. So let's join our adventurers and see how we can travel to another plane of existence in this puzzle called Monkey See. If you're enjoying the content on this channel, please hit the subscribe button, consider becoming a patron, join us on the Discord, and if you want more puzzles, pick up a copy of my book, Wally DM's Journal of Puzzle Encounters, available now on DriveThruRPG. So in this puzzle, our adventuring party enters an altar room or some type of a religious area. Now they are on a mission to try to find a religious item that's going to transfer them to another plane of existence. So our first room we're going to encounter is going to be this room here with an altar and a statue of a monkey that is standing behind it. Now, if you'd like to tie into the lore of your world or introduce a new deity, you could allow your characters a DC 12 religion check, and perhaps you can give them some additional information, but it's not necessary for the purpose of this puzzle. Now, if our characters come up and take a look at this altar, they're going to notice two things. First, there's going to be a silver offering plate that is in the middle of this altar, and inside the silver altering plate is going to be a lens. Kind of think of a monocle, and we'll use this token here to represent our monocle or our lens. And then the other thing they're going to notice, if our characters come over here, we're going to allow them a DC 12 perception check, and on a success, they're going to see that this stone statue of a monkey is looking at this altar. But on a success of that perception check, not just the altar, but slightly above the silver offering plate. So it's not actually staring at the lens, but it's staring probably about 6 to 12 inches above it. Now, if our characters were to take this lens, and if they were to look through in this room, then they're going to see that the lens actually portrays a second dimension or shows things that exist on two different planes. Now, by looking through this, they can scan the room, and they're going to notice that there is a scroll tube or a scroll case that is floating slightly above the silver offering plate. And with that information, they're going to be able to tell that the monkey is actually staring straight at that floating scroll tube. However, if our characters try to remove this scroll tube from there, they're not going to be able to grasp it. Nothing they seem to do is going to allow them to get a hold of this scroll tube, even if they are looking through the lens. Now, scanning over the rest of this room, I set this up a little bit different than what is in the Seer's Sanctum. This area here and this area here, and the one shot that you can take a look at by directsun is actually in two different rooms. But for the ease of demonstrating this puzzle, I thought I would combine them. So if our characters come over here, let's say our gnome comes over and takes a look, we're going to have a bookshelf, a treasure chest that is merely for decoration, and we're going to have a frame that looks like it holds a tapestry. However, at the current moment, there is no tapestry that is inside this frame. Hey folks, that's me, mispronouncing another word. Kept saying tapestry through the whole video. Tapestry. Oh my goodness. Thanks for pointing that out, Chuck. Appreciate it. Oh my gosh. So if our characters are looking at this and they see the scroll tube, I would allow them an intelligence or an investigation check of a DC 20, and they might be able to determine that the tapestry that goes in this frame is actually in this scroll case or this scroll tube. But that's totally up to you and it's how you would like to run this puzzle. Now, I don't believe there's enough information yet, so I'm going to add an extra thing. If our gnome comes over here and takes a look at the bookshelf, he's going to find a book, and inside this book is going to have a picture of a stone monkey that is either holding a scroll tube or a scroll case or is staring at it. And here is an image that I would use and give to my players, and I will put this on my Patreon if you're wanting to use this for yourself. It'll be a free download. So with everything that's been presented here, do you know how to solve the puzzle? How would your characters grasp the scroll tube and get the tapestry inside? I'll give you a minute if you'd like to figure it out. Did you get it? Great, let's go over the answer. Honestly, I still don't think there's enough information, so on this book that the gnome's going to find, I'm going to provide a final clue to the players, and inside the book with the picture of the monkey staring at the scroll tube, I'm going to have the words written shrouded in darkness. The monkey grasps the tapestry, or something along those lines. And by doing that, hopefully that will be enough information for the players to be able to solve the puzzle. But if they're not able to and they're still struggling with this, I would allow them a DC 12 investigation check, and they would be able to determine that there has to be something to do with the room being dark for them to be able to get it. So the answer or solution to the puzzle is that the characters are going to need to cast a spell or engulf the area in complete darkness, or at the very least, they're going to need to close their eyes. Now, if they use the closed eyes method, they can try to reach out and grab the scroll tube, but it's still not going to work. Now, if they enshroud everything in darkness, then if a character comes over here in the dark and reaches out, they're going to be able to grab the scroll tube. However, if we are going with the eyes closed method, then there's one final piece that they need to do, and they either need to blindfold the statue of a monkey or turn it around and face in a different direction. The entire magical nature of the scroll tube or the case is that it is protected by magic, that it can only be grabbed by someone as long as no one is looking at it. So if no one is looking at the scroll case, let's say our wizard over here can come over and grab the scroll case. Now, if this wizard opens their eyes or they look at the scroll case, then it's going to disappear and it's going to reappear here. Now, the final step to solving this puzzle and acquiring the tapestry is for this character to have no eyes on the scroll case and to open it up and remove the tapestry. Once that happens, the magical spell that was binding it is broken, and then the characters can finally look at the tapestry they have achieved. Now they can take this picture and they can bring it over here to the empty frame and they can put it up on the wall. Now in this example, this painting or mural or tapestry that they've applied to the wall inside the frame is an image of a beautiful city that they need to travel to that lies on another plane of existence. So the final step in order to get there is our characters are going to need to step back a little bit. They're going to need to grab this lens. And when they look through this lens, then the character immediately disappears and reappears in this beautiful city on another plane. So that is the Monkey See puzzle, and again we're trying to obtain an item that exists on two planes of existence at the same time. We're going to have the help of our lens to be able to see the item, but how we get it is going to be the puzzle. Now this puzzle video featured a scroll case where you needed to get a tapestry or a painting, put it up in the frame, and then use the lens to travel to another plane of existence. But instead of the traveling to another plane, perhaps you want to do a puzzle where the reward is that the characters are able to reach into the tapestry or the painting and pull out an item that is pictured within it. And of course the only way they're going to be able to reach in and grab that is if they're looking through the lens and grabbing or reaching in at that time. Now this puzzle video is a little bit different than what you're going to find in the puzzle dungeon. As I displayed everything in one shot, there's a lot of different rooms and different things to get stuff. In fact, the lens that I put in the silver offering plate can actually be found in a gelatinous cube. And I want to thank directsun for sending me a copy of this to be able to present this puzzle. And if you'd like to check this out, I will put a link in the description below. So that's all I have for you today. What did you think of this puzzle? Is this something that you could use in your game? And if so, what would you do differently? In particular, what type of hints or clues are you going to give your players in order for them to be able to feel their way through the darkness and be able to grab the scroll case? Or would you do something totally different? I'm looking forward to seeing your ideas in the comments section. Thank you very much for watching, and on to the next.